What happens when societal pleasantries are overwritten by personal preferences? I'm Dre, and this is the Midnight Hour. Tonight we will be reading from, I think, one of my favorite writers, especially of the 1920s, Dorothy Parker, But the One on the Right. And this story pretty much starts and ends within her own mind. And the narrator is giving this inner dialogue. She is at this dinner party, and she is sat next to the most boring, mundane person on her left. Because of that, she is forced to make small talk with him that is utterly impossible to handle because she is so out of her mind bored. He is such a horrible conversationalist. And all the while, on her right, there is this chiseled, broad-shouldered, as she puts it, Greek god that she wishes she could be conversing with instead. However, he's busy speaking with the woman on his right. So she's stuck in a very unpleasant situation. However, societal pleasantries dictate that you continue speaking with the person, getting to know them. As the story unfolds, she continues to write what's happening within her own mind, and the inner dialogue turns wittier and wittier. And by the end of the story, she is finally given the opportunity to speak with the gentleman on her right. And guess what? He's been having just as miserable a time as she has. So they plot their escape from the dinner party, and the ending kind of leaves it open to interpretation, but that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. So we're going to go over 3 highlighted parts that I think really bring out this story in the best of ways. The first of which goes, well, the soup's over anyway. I'm that much nearer to my eternal home. Now the soup belongs to the ages, and I have said precisely 4 words to the gentleman on my left. I said, "Isn't this soup delicious?" That's 4 words. And he said, "Yes, isn't it?" That's 3. He's one up on me. At any rate, we're in perfect accord. We agree like lambs. We've been all through the soup together and never a cross word between us. It seems rather a pity to let the subject drop, now that we found something on which we harmonize so admirably. I believe I'll bring it up again. I'll ask him if that wasn't delicious soup. He says, "Yes, wasn't it?" Look at that, will you? Perfect command of his tenses. I mean, that right there shows you Parker's wit and her ability to just make light out of a horrible situation. Now, it also presents her utter boredom with the guest on her left. She is forced to speak with him. She can't get out of the situation, and so she escapes through this inner monologue and almost lets herself entertain herself. But let's go into the second quote, which is kind of an extension of the first. And it goes, let's see, where were we? Oh, we got to where he'd confessed his liking for fish. I wonder what else he likes. Does he like cucumbers? Yes, he does. He likes cucumbers. And potatoes? Yes, he likes potatoes. Why, he's a regular old nature lover. That's what he is. I would have to come out to dinner and sit next to the boy Thoreau. Wait, he's saying something. Words are simply pouring out of him. He's asking me if I'm fond of potatoes. No, I don't like potatoes. There, I've done it. I've differed from him. It's our first quarrel. He's fallen into a moody silence. Silly boy, have I pricked your bubble? Do you think I am nothing but a painted doll with sawdust for a heart? Don't take it like that. Look, I have something to tell you that will bring back your faith. I do like cucumbers. Why, he's better already. He speaks again. He says yes, he likes them too. Now we've got all that straightened out, thank heaven. We both like cucumbers, only he likes them twice. I think we've all been there where we need to expand our consciousness beyond the moment. Whether it's because we're so bored or whether it's because we just don't understand what's going on, but we need to be outside of it. Or rather, we need to be inside our own minds so much that we get through it. And that's what Parker, I think, is doing with this inner monologue. And she's also using detachment as an escape. And we can all relate to that. We can all relate to needing to escape from such a mundane situation that we make light of it. We find the silver lining, or we just create it if it doesn't exist. So we're going to head into our last highlighted section, and this one finally introduces the gentleman on her right, and it goes, I'm glad there's red wine now. Even if it isn't good, I'm glad. Red wine gives me courage. The red badge of courage. I need courage. I'm in a thin way here. Nobody knows what a filthy time I'm having. My precious evening that can never come again, ruined, ruined, ruined. And all because of this somewhat different monologist on my left. But he can't lick me. The night is not yet dead. No, nor dying. You know, this really isn't bad wine. Now, what do you suppose is going on with the Greek god on my right? No use. There's still only the shoulder. The nice shoulder. I wonder what the woman's like that's got him. I can't see her at all. I wonder if she's beautiful. I wonder if she's Greek too. When Greek meets immovable body, you might be able to do something with that if you only had the time. I'm not going to be spineless any longer. Don't think for a minute, lady, that I've given up. He's still using his knife and fork. While there's hands above the table, there's hope. The grass is always greener, right? I mean, when you can take something that's so incredibly average as a boring dinner party conversation and turn it entertaining, especially for this objective observer, then you know this writer has talent. And of course, Parker is unquestionably one of the voices of the 1920s. And so I just find this story so witty and so relatable for so many people that are out there and that are in this same situation. Now, to answer the introduction's question, what happens when societal pleasantries are overwritten by personal preference? The thing is, as time has gone by, these societal norms have really loosened up, right? They used to be a lot more stricter, especially in the 1920s. So now, a century later, I think things are a lot more lenient. People can choose their own conversations much more fluidly at a dinner party. However, you still don't want to be rude about it. And that's what Parker is really good at. I think she can take something that would be rude by her saying all these things to him. Instead, she says it to the reader. She puts the reader in her situation, and we're kind of right there with her at the dinner party. We're kind of like the spectator on her shoulder. And she's finding strength within that to get through the situation. And I think if personal preference overwrites societal pleasantries, then that's what it is. Like she said, she's only got that night one time. It'll never come again. So you may as well give in to your preferences with glee and utter enjoyment. So next week, we're going to be looking at something similar but a lot darker. And that is what happens when societal norms lead to utter violence. Like if you felt something, comment if you wrote something, and I will see you next Sunday at the midnight hour.